And how to overhaul your finances in 5 easy steps. Three-time best-selling author Nicole Lapin shares a game plan for financial security.
Millions of people are vowing to take control of their finances in 2021, but tracking those dollars can be sometimes overwhelming for those struggling with debt. So joining us with a game plan to set you up for success is best-selling author and financial guru, Nicole Lapin. So you have 5 tips to help us manage our money. Let's dive right in. What's your first tip?
So the first thing I say is come up with a plan. Dreams are awesome, but dreams without a plan are just a wish. And wishes are awesome, Stacey, but they don't pay the bills. So we have to come up with a basic plan going into this year, trying to get our financial life together once and for all for 2021. I break that down to the 3 E's. I love alliteration. It just makes it easier to remember. So essentials, endgame, and extras, where 70% of your overall spending plan, I like to think of it as a spending plan versus a crash budget. Like an eating plan is more sustainable than a crash diet, right? So something that allows you for those small indulgences so you don't end up binging later on. So 70% of your overall spending plan to the essentials, so your food, your housing, your transportation, all that jazz. 15% to the extras, that's like the latte, the mani-pedi. Allow yourself for that stuff. You have to, again, otherwise you'll end up binging. And then 15% to the end game. So the future, Stacey, what do you want to do for retirement, for your next vacation, for saving? Think about the end game and put at least 15% of your overall take-home pay toward that.
Now, your second tip is about automatic deposit. Now, I know that we're all familiar with that, but you are speaking specifically about an emergency plan. And it's the first time I've heard this.
People, I don't want to say I told you so because I don't wish we were all in this situation, but people now are like, oh yeah, that emergency fund you told us about last year, that actually came in really handy. And if you've already used your emergency fund, now we fully know emergencies do happen. So you want to replenish that. And if you don't see it coming out of your paycheck, it doesn't feel as bad, right? And you don't even have the opportunity to spend that. So I would aim for 6 to 9 months of expenses in the bank. I know it's hard to squirrel it away, but yeah, definitely set it up on autopilot, on automatic deposit into your savings account.
Okay, now let's talk about these no money days. How does this work?
I know it sounds really hard. It sounds like doom and gloom. Nobody wants to do it, but I promise you can do it. You can do it for one day. And here's the thing, like instead of going into the year trying to do this huge detox, you want to do little detoxes along the way. So pick one day a month and just spend no money. Yeah, take a walk, make something for yourself. And I think it resets your system in the same way as if you're keeping healthy, then you want, one day that you do sort of a food detox. This is the same idea with your money.
Okay, you also talk about negotiating your bills. I have to admit, when I saw that, I thought to myself, is it worth the time I'm going to spend on that call with the customer service representative? So tell us, is it worth it?
Stacey, yes! Let me call for you. I will totally do it. This is one of my favorite sports, by the way. It's probably the only cardio that I'm getting in terms of negotiating. But once you do it and once you actually get money back, it becomes so addicting because it's your hard-earned money. You might as well fight for it. And honestly, the worst thing they can say is no, but the answer is always no if you don't ask. So call your major bill collectors, call your landlord if you haven't already negotiated your rent, call your cable company, your cell phone company. Please call your credit card company. It drives me crazy when I hear people say they don't negotiate the APR on their credit card. Hello, that is negotiable. Everything is negotiable. Just because it's on a fancy paper from the credit card company doesn't mean it's set in stone. Medical debt is also one of the biggest debt in collections, and that is negotiable too. A lot of times creditors will take something versus nothing. If they think they're not going to get anything from you, they will take pennies on the dollar.
All right, Nicole, let's talk about the side hustle. You said you need to get a side hustle with a cause. Tell us about that.
So oftentimes we want to make extra money so the saving money doesn't feel as bad, right? And a lot of things we can do virtually right now. I say as we're going into the new year, on a lot of our resolution lists is doing good and also making money. So I think you can do a win-win by finding a side hustle with a cause. You can go old school, you can host a big sale or a virtual party that benefits a cause. There are also sites like Ira that pairs people with blind people or visually impaired folks to help them read and go about their everyday lives. So I think making money and helping other people is definitely the way to go this year.
Well, Nicole, it has been so wonderful talking to you, and I love these tips. Really, you've opened my eyes. For our viewers watching today, don't forget to check out Nicole's best-selling books, Rich Bitch, Boss Bitch, and Becoming Superwoman. I want to be all of those things.
You are.
Well, thank you so much, Nicole, for joining us, and you take care.
Thanks, Stacey.